Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Nick at Barband HQ. Today I'm going to be reviewing Dymatize ISO 100. So Dymatize is based in Houston, Texas, and this particular protein powder is a hydrolyzed whey protein powder, which is a little unusual. Most protein powders are made of like a whey concentrate or whey isolate. This is hydrolyzed, which means it's been run through a process with enzymes. That means it digests more quickly than other whey protein powders. That can be handy before, during, or right after a workout. This is the gourmet chocolate flavor. I'm gonna see how it tastes with milk. Oh, alright, so it mixes very well, dissolves very well. It's quite frothy. You know, it's a pretty mild flavor, I gotta say. It's more than anything, it's sweet. It's really sweet. I'm gonna speak to my truth myself, but yeah, I wouldn't say it's a very like a rich or dark cocoa-y kind of flavor. It's more like yeah, it's like a sweet, like sort of, it's a bit like Nesquik. It's nice. Okay, so now I'm gonna see how it tastes with water. It's actually really pleasant with water, yeah. It is a pretty mild, again, it's a pretty mild tasting protein powder, but it's sweet and it is a bit creamy, and honestly, I actually kind of prefer it with water. It's really good. All right, so let's check out the nutrition label. One scoop of this has 120 calories, so it's pretty low calorie. You get 25 grams of protein, 2 grams of carbohydrates, 1 gram of sugar, and less than a gram of fiber, and 0.5 grams of fat. So that's a pretty typical profile for a whey isolate. In addition to that, as far as micronutrients go, it's pretty low in cholesterol. It's got 10 milligrams, so like 3% of daily intake. It's a bit salty though. It did actually taste a bit salty earlier. It has 160 milligrams of sodium per serve. That's 7% of your daily intake. Besides that, yeah, there's like 4% of your daily iron, 10% of your daily calcium. Those are normally a bit higher in other protein powders, but again, you're probably not getting this for the micronutrient profile. So let's take a look at the ingredients list. The first ingredient is hydrolyzed whey protein isolate. After that, there's whey protein isolate, so it's not like 100% hydrolyzed whey. Cocoa powder, salt, soy lecithin, that's to help mixability. Natural and artificial flavor, potassium chloride, and sucralose, which is also called Splenda. So what leaps out at me here is that, first of all, it doesn't contain any acesulfame potassium, which is an artificial sweetener that's really common in protein powders, and it's controversial in some circles for like concerns about spiking blood sugar and things like that. So that's going to be a relief for some consumers. And there's also no digestive enzymes. Now this is a lactose-free product, so that's probably not a big deal. But it's possible if you just generally have difficulties digesting protein powders just because of the nature, you might have a bit of trouble with this. Okay, so let's talk about price. This here is 1.6 pounds, and this contains 23 servings. You can get one of these tubs for $30. So that winds up at being about $1.25 per serving, or 4.4 cents per gram of, 5 cents per gram of protein. If you get the bigger tub, the 3-pound tub, then it's 4.4 cents per gram of protein. Which is actually pretty cheap. Like when you compare that to other whey isolates, not even hydrolyzed whey isolates, it's cheaper than, you know, it's cheaper than Pretty Fit. It's cheaper than the isolates from Ultimate Nutrition. It's a little bit more expensive than the isolate from Allmax, but it's still pretty middle of the road, especially for a hydrolyzed whey. So there's a lot that I like about this product. It tastes really good. It's pretty reasonably priced. It's free of some of the more controversial ingredients, like it doesn't have any gluten, doesn't have any lactose, doesn't have any acesulfate potassium, so it's a nice, clean, lean ingredients list. And besides that, it's hydrolyzed. It absorbs really fast, and that is, especially if you're the kind of person who likes to take protein right before a workout, like say when you wake up in the morning, or even during a workout, that can be really handy. So there's a couple things I wasn't quite so crazy about with Dymatize ISO 100. The first is that it is a pretty salty protein powder, especially if you're really trying to minimize salt, or if you just don't like that kind of flavor, that could be an issue for you. It also contains soy, which a lot of people tend to avoid, particularly like bodybuilders. They usually try and really minimize soy in their diets. And finally, it's just a very high in micronutrients. It's a very, very lean protein powder. It just delivers protein, which is fine, but it's considerably lower in like iron and calcium than other protein powders. So that's just something to keep in mind. All right, so that's my thoughts on Dymatize's ISO 100. For the full review, you can check out the link below at barben.com.